Okay, we should be live.
Okay, hello everyone. So we're going to have two main things to discuss in this meeting. The first issue is Nick is gonna tell us about the teacher assistant, give us more information about this. I'm glad he joined. So welcome, Nick.
Hi. Can you guys hear me okay?
There's a little bit of background noise, but we can make out what you're saying.
Sounds like there's a fan.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm outside.
Okay.
Let's see. Do you guys hear me better?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay, and also we're gonna discuss the matching process. Like we selected a few mentees. We put +1s on them on the sheet. So we're gonna discuss that a little bit. Okay, so Nick, you discussed in the issue about, let me link it. Yeah, so Nick, you talked about the TA position and how it would be effective in this mentorship program. So if you can talk more about that, like give us a context about it.
Yeah, all right. So I talked actually about or we could go or sometimes we could go beyond the role of teaching assistant, and sometimes it is needed. I think that was my post, if that's the one you're referring to. And also, yeah, so what I was saying about that is because I've been teaching in university in France, and I've been following also a few learning programs online. So what I noticed is sometimes you really need mentor and teaching assistants, but also you need also some people in the background, maybe more to like I would say like an education assistant, which takes the feedback from learners and helps the mentor like iterate about the program, and sometimes some administrative assistants, which are going to take care of all the day-to-day life things, like for example, like checking if the Zoom link is up to date or not, or like stuff like that we always have to do, and probably in this program that will grow and grow and grow as the program starts getting bigger, or just as the program only starts, then these issues are going to come up more and more often, I think.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So do you think we should start from the beginning, like delegating roles? Because currently, like each one of us does a little bit of everything, I believe. Like we selecting the mentee is basically part of the administrative assistant, I believe. And currently we have the education assistants and the TA. We don't have anyone doing that at the moment.
Okay. Well, what my post was just to offer my service, because I don't feel I have the level even to be a teaching assistant, but I was like, maybe I can help as one of the two roles I mentioned, as an education assistant, or maybe like administrative assistant.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I think like for the education assistant thing, we discussed earlier, like the team to have some resources to give them to the mentors to like give them a general guideline on how to mentor in general. So what do you think, AJ?
Yeah, I think having a whole folder on that eventually would be good. Just a resources folder, like I mentioned. And we can just kind of stuff anything that we find to be useful in there. That was my first thought, was just the like bookmarks, but I'm sure there's a lot of other things like onboarding guides or things of that nature that we could add to it over time.
Mm-hmm. Personally, I don't have like any knowledge about this specific topic, so it would be great to have like help in this regards.
Would it be helpful for you guys if I kind of do like kind of a job description for the education assistant, like what he would do? Not that it is a job, but just like a list of tasks that he would do, and could be helpful. And then you guys can decide which one you want to select.
Yeah, I think that would be really helpful.
Okay, I can do that for next time if you want.
Yeah, also like we don't have any description of what any member in the mentorship team does in the first place. Like I can say a little, but we don't have any of those documented. Like the matching process is part of it, the administrative things are part of it. I'm just saying in general, it would be nice to have these documented. Maybe we should like open an issue about this to discuss it more. But definitely like this part of the TA and education assistant and administrative maybe, because we don't have like deep knowledge about this issue, maybe it would be really helpful if you outline it. And just to give you like the general scope, everything is like centered around GitHub. So usually like the way to go about that is to either open a pull request or an issue and like give it some time for the team to respond and anyone to respond and give feedback. Then we will have it merged into the repo in some way or another.
Sure, I will do that.
I think in this case, issue might be a good place to start. And based on what we come up with there, I can draw up a draft of a document to go over those things.
Okay, so I'll make an issue then, right? Okay, cool.
Yes, thank you. Ahmad, the other issue from last week wasn't on it didn't get added to the issue for the meeting, but I left the agenda label on it because there was a couple of things that we could still go over on that. It won't be as useful without Dan being here, but may still be relevant.
Okay.
See if I can pull up that issue.
Yeah, here, it's in the links here.
Oh, okay. Thank you. All right, so I went through and updated a bit, crossed off a few more things, and denoted that like the whole applied mentors section is for a later round now, since we have such a small scope for this round. Oh, go ahead.
Can you first just give a context about the issue for people like to follow?
Oh, sure. Yeah, it was originally a follow-up discussion for the meeting before. Was it before this meeting or before the last meeting? I can't remember.
Before the last meeting.
Okay, yeah. So 2 meetings ago, I was just following up on some things that happened in that meeting. And we didn't get around to finishing all of those in the last meeting either. So this is just the things that are left over from 2 meetings ago. And out of those things, we've now reached out to Nick. We said if he was on board, we'd ask the general mentors if they'd like to TA for the first round. I was going to check with Dan to see if he'd reached out to Trot and Miles yet, but obviously we can't do that. The section B was about just trying to get more mentors on board for the first round, but I've just readdressed that to be for the second round, and we'll just go with what we have for now. With the mentees, we have now gone through the list. We've made comments on who we thought would be good candidates, and we just have to reach out to those people now. And then the last section I also kind of deferred for the second round of, it's also just more trying to get more mentors involved. So I guess really the only relevant thing in here right now is just the reaching out to the mentees and also reaching out to the mentors about TAing.
Yeah, we have to reach out for the mentors first, I guess, to tell them like people in the general scope, if they're willing to enroll as mentees for the first round. So we need to reach out for those first. Hopefully, I'm sure like most of them will respond positively, let's say. And also after that, we'll have a number of the needed mentees, and we'll reach out to those mentees that are selected from the list, and we'll start.
All right, that sounds good. That covers my agenda item.
Okay. I'm not sure if Nick, if you have time to commit with the first round of mentorship, and if you have any ideas like how will you go about that, if you can like join the mentorship team to help us out.
Yeah, just give me a second. I have to open my door, and I'll come back in 10 seconds.
Okay, take it. So meanwhile, I'm not sure if we should like take the selection process of mentees, like the discussion, to a private session, or we should like keep it on YouTube. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I was thinking about that too. I could go either way on that. I think
What was the specific subject?
It was concerning the people we've filtered some people out, but we haven't got a definitive list yet. We have to keep filtering.
Okay. I think probably doing that privately would be better, just because it concerns people. That's really the only reason.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
And sorry, I didn't mean to like drop in.
No, that may that's a good.
Everyone follows, but I just. Okay. Cool.
No, you're welcome to stay. Actually, like we need you there.
Okay, that's fine.
Perfect.
Have we exhausted the agenda items?
Not yet. We're waiting for
Okay.
Nick to come back.
Cool.
He's answering.
I'm back. So your question was about whether I could commit in the first round as a teaching assistant or education assistant. Was it your question?
Exactly. And the first round is gonna last for 1 month,
Okay.
I believe. Starting from the next few days, I believe.
Also, it's going to be a very small scope. I think we've got like 9 or 10 mentors. And if you wanted, we could probably get some other volunteers to help you out in those roles during that time.
Sure. Yeah, I can commit, of course, for that. But yeah, but 9 months is like a lot of work. Also, I think already. I don't know how many months there will be eventually, but that's already like.
Yeah. So for the first round, it's only gonna be 1 month. It's like a beta testing phase. We're gonna have the mentors and mentees like give us feedback about the process and how we can like apply it on a larger scale.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully the mentees in this round will become mentors. This is how we're gonna choose the mentees in the first round. And after that, we haven't decided yet if we're going to go with a full 6 months or 3 months period, like each round.
Okay.
And I believe the commitment needed from you is only for the first month to get like the first like draft of this role started.
Sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to stress that we're not expecting a lot out of anybody during this first month. It's really just a trial run. We're just trying to figure out how things should work. So there's not really any pressure on you to do anything. Just try things out and let us know what works and what doesn't.
Cool. Thank you. I will do that. And on the Monty side, how much time do you expect them? How much time do you expect from them?
We had originally discussed at least one hour long meeting per week, I believe. Is that correct, Aman?
The only place it's documented was for the 6 month duration, and it was once per month, once per 2 weeks, I believe.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But for this, like I believe once a week is good.
So basically 4 meetings during the duration. Or I guess 5 if you have one on the day it ends.
Maybe Tierney could give us feedback on that. Like, do all the working groups have a meeting every 2 weeks, or they differ per working group?
Yeah, so it usually differs per working group. The average, like I think of one that's every week. Almost every single group meets every 2 weeks, and then build meets every 3. But that's generally the cadence, just because it's much less of a maintenance burden of, okay, I can come spend an hour every 2 weeks. So that's 2 hours a month theoretically for a synchronous meeting compared to 4. It helps people contribute.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you think it makes sense to like synchronize these together? Like the minimum amount of meetings or the minimum amount of working group meetings for that? Like we have someone in the like localization or internationalization working group. So they meet once every 2 weeks. So the minimum is to attend these meetings as a mentee with your mentor.
So my only concern with that is scale. Like one of the hardest things with the TSC is that the majority of TSC members aren't in a US friendly time zone, or like, not the majority, but a large number aren't in a US friendly time zone. And so you actually end up, some of the members in this are, and I know there are some that aren't, but requiring people to come to a meeting or, having that as some kind of requirement actually does end up being a huge blocker to being able to use a service or, participate at a certain level. So generally we try to avoid requiring meetings like this kind of meeting, like a synchronous where there's 7 people that you have to make it work on all their calendars meeting, just because of that kind of barrier that it puts up. If that makes sense.
That does make sense. But we're also only looking for potentially only like 4 mentees once we factor in all the mentors that are going to be menteeing and possibly team members. So that may actually work as a filtering mechanism. See, ask who would be able to commit to those meetings. That's a thought. I'm not plus one or
and
minus
it's
one on
even
that.
like, yeah, it's even less of like a commitment thing and more of a like, okay, will I be awake right now during this meeting type of thing. Like it really does generally, I hate this, but the meetings do end up being more US centric. And so that does cut out a lot of potential mentees. Like, from some of the numbers that, got published or that I kind of helped publish at NodeSource at the beginning of the year, Russia has a dramatic influx of node usage. So theoretically, there will also be more users there. So you tend to be in a way cutting them out. There's a lot of people who want to participate and want to use it theoretically, but you're increasing the barrier for them and then making it more centric to U.S. compatibility.
Sure. I do want to clarify. You mentioned scale. I think this is only for the first round that we're requiring them to work with a working group. Beyond that, I think it'll be opened up more to just general mentoring that would just be in between mentors and mentees. Am I correct in that, Ahmad?
We're still not sure about the general thing, but yeah, if like this scope of discussion is for the first round, for the first month.
Yeah, and I think that's totally fine. Especially, I mean, how many meetings are you gonna have? Two meetings in a month? I mean, yeah, I think that's fine to have. If you're gonna have 2 meetings. I think it's.
You're cutting off. I'm not sure if it's.
Yeah.
Are going to be one question.
Still cutting out.
TBD. Okay. Is it going to? Oh, sorry.
Now you're good. Now you're good.
Yeah. My internet is really bad. Is the number of people participating going to be more than 4? I'm guessing it is, but I'm not sure. Number of mentees.
Somewhere it's going to be 4 to 7 actual mentees, I believe, this round.
Cool. Yeah, the total mentees are 11, I believe. But some of these mentees are mentors, but they're gonna, because they want to contribute as mentors in the general scope, like not specific to the node, so to the node projects. So yeah, 4 mentees, and the rest are mentors that are gonna be mentees for the first round. But in total, they're 11.
Yeah, I think if it's just for the first round, and the first round is going to be a month, right? That's what you said.
Correct.
Okay, yeah. If that's the case, I think that's a totally fine scope to have, just to kind of get that feedback, and then you can move on from to the larger one.
Tierney, you mentioned needing to leave in a few minutes, I think. Is that the case?
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah.
Okay. Ahmad, is there anything you want to ask him before he goes? I've got something I'd like to discuss after.
No, I guess like it's good.
Okay. All right. You want to take this time to leave, Tierney, or?
Yeah. So hold on. Let me. Before I do, AJ, I'm gonna promote you. I want to make sure you can end the live stream. Or because I do.
Actually, so Ahmad, do you know how to do that? I've never done that. If it's super easy, that's fine. But
it is super easy.
Yeah, it's super easy. Okay. It's just so let me make you host. Okay. I've transferred host to you now. Now in the More tab at the bottom of Zoom, there should be the third option at the top that says Stop Live Stream. Don't do it yet if you don't want to end it.
Yeah.
But if it's there, you're good.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Perfect. I just wanted to make sure someone would be able to do that. So,
right. Yeah. And thank you for your help getting the meeting started and everything.
Yeah, no problem. And then once y'all are done, once the live stream's over and you're all done with the private session, there's also the end meeting button at the bottom instead of leave meeting. So that's all you have to do, and that'll end the meeting. So just want to give you that quick rundown. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So was there anything else on the agenda we need to cover other than the private session stuff?
I believe it's good, but I want to hear like if Benjamin or Valerio have any comments.
Sure.
On my side, not much. I was more interested in hearing what was the idea and what was the plan for to go forward. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, maybe Nick can give us like a quick overview about what TA is, because I have like a very slight clue.
An overview about TAs. You said?
Yeah.
Well, I can talk about maybe education. Was it TA or education assistant or administrative assistant? Because
what I understand is TA is someone that like you give material to the mentors to help them mentor people, right? And the education assistant is basically someone that facilitates the interactions between the mentors and mentees. Correct me if I'm wrong. And like make sure that the mentees are happy with what they're doing and they're doing what they should be doing. And there's no like conflict, or in case of any escalations, the education assistant should coordinate that. I'm not sure if this is the scope.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yes, so that's exactly the role of an education assistant, which basically you can say that you can measure his or her impact by having not too many people drop off of the program, you know, and having a good retention rate of people, like staying in the program until the end of the program and actually graduating from the program, if I can call it like that. And yeah, and there is a lot of checks that you can do with people. And I think it could involve also like forms to people that you send on regular basis, and maybe like weekly or like twice a month meeting with people, like one-to-one for 20 minutes, just to see, you know, if there's anything, you know, if they want to talk about anything about the program and stuff, and getting feedback. So you're getting feedback from on an automatic level, but also on a human level, talking for people. And then the other part of the job is also to get that feedback to the mentors and, you know, tell them how they can help out. As far as the teaching assistant is concerned, well, I think it really depends on the specialty. Well, on a topic I'm very good at, I would be comfortable, you know, giving you advice. But, you know, I mean, you guys are experts in Node, so you probably know better than I do what a teaching assistant should do. I mean,
so it's a teaching assistant is like to help out with subject matter, teach like how to teach the subject matter.
Well, from what I've been dealing with, and I'm not saying, you know, it's always like that, but it's like the first support, you know, when you have a question, when mentees have like a first question, they'll go to teaching assistant first. And then if they don't get an answer that is sufficiently thorough or something like that, then they'll get to the mentor, you know? So the teaching assistant is like the first level of support, and the mentor should be the highest level of support.
I see. Okay, so it almost sounds like that might be a TA position might be a little bit of overkill for this first round, because it would be.
I used to have teacher assistants in university. Like, it's more like because the mentor is giving too many, like the teacher is teaching too many people, so he cannot.
Right, in this it's a one-on-one, so one-on-one, one-on-two, one-on-three, that kind of thing. So the teaching assistant would end up actually doing more work than the mentors, I guess, in that situation. But that does sound like something we would want as we do scale up. So I don't know. We would need to see how it works. I don't know what we'll do there.
I understood the teacher assistant differently. I thought
I think education assistant is more what we're interested in right now. Does that sound right, Amen?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So yeah, sorry for mixing those terms up, Nick. We're not familiar with all those terms.
No. I mean, that's one of my definition. It's not, you know, I'm not saying I have the universal truth on that. Also, if you guys need to speak about something privately, you know, well, feel free to tell me that you need a topic private, and I will leave.
Don't worry.
And take no fun.
We'll do that after.
We make an announcement when that happens. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Ahmad, is there anything you wanted Nick to add more to that, or you want to hear from Ben now?
I don't know, Valerio, was that good enough?
Oh, yes, totally. It's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Benjamin, what do you think?
I didn't really have anything to add. I just wanted to sync up and see as a mentor how pairing's going to work and what's going to be happening. But it sounds like there's going to be a bunch of communication this week, it sounds like, or I guess next week with mentors as the pairing actually happens.
True. So basically, I think like we have to like select, like filter down the mentees furthermore. We'll do that today, I believe, and after that we'll chat on Slack, I believe, to start the matching process after contacting the mentors and mentees.
Okay, sounds good. I'll be in Slack.
All right. So are we ready to go to private session, Ahmad?
I believe we've exhausted the list. Yeah.
Okay. Also, I noticed Ben was on the GitHub team now. So I didn't know when that came about. Is I guess he's welcome to join now, or
It's up to you guys. I was just onboarded as a collaborator on Node, and they just put me on teams they thought would be reasonable to put me on, but there was no process of voting me onto the mentor team. So.
Okay. Ahmad, since there's only two of us, would you be okay with him joining private?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't mind, I believe.
Okay. All right. Well, then
All right.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, well, I don't think I'm going to be included in this. So it's like, thank you for the conversation, and yeah, see you soon.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well,
Bye.
we will start this private session, and those who aren't members can leave now. And thank you both for coming. Or thank you.
Sorry?
Oh, we will start the private session now. So I was just saying thank you for coming, and
okay,
we'll be
sure.
updating you.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Nick.
Have a good day. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. I will end the live stream.